I suppose it would be prudent to talk about a few loose ends before moving on to new things. Back in the very early days, there were a few other people in the SDA thread who said they had done a run of God of War, although sadly without any video recording, but to give even these runners some type of an acknowledgement. Shellman said he had finished the game in 3:15 or so, apparently on Spartan difficulty, possibly the first ever run of God of War, even earlier than Prism, although it is unverified. Karim Z seems to have been the earliest single-segment runner. According to him, he finished the game in 3:31 on God mode. He also appeared to have dabbled with challenge running, trying to finish God mode without upgrades, but he found it impossible because of the clone fights. There was also Maze, who ran both segmented and single segments. He considered making videos to show off his gameplay, but it seems those never materialized. One additional note about Satvara's 2007 run. Back in the first video, I said that Satvara's segmenting seemed very informal. Most other segmented runners at the time seemed to plan ahead carefully where to save, whereas Satvara basically saved whenever finding a new save points. Satvara later told me that he had saved everywhere because it helped save some extra seconds. Every time the game is loaded, there's a short amount of time when Kratos can move although the screen is still dark. Presumably, in-game timer doesn't run during this time, giving the player a small edge every time they load the game. I never mentioned it in the two-part video series, but there exists a large written compendium about the glitches of God of War, more commonly known as the God of War Glitch FAQ. The origins of this file can be traced back all the way to early 2008. During this time, at least 4 people were actively trying to find skips and new speed tech in God of War, and I thought it would be helpful to put all the new information in order in a small written guide. God Mode God was a big help during this time. Some sections, especially about various combat exploits, were adapted from his forum posts and messages. The first version had a fairly casual writing style, and it also didn't include level-specific glitches, just the general techniques like the earliest infinite jumps and such. From its humble origin as a merely 30 kilobyte text file, it grew in size pretty quick. Towards the end of 2008, it was much more comprehensive and already at 130 kilobytes. And with the latest updates, it has reached the hardy size of 267 kilobytes, or in other words, 103 pages. What can I say? God of War is just that glitchy, and I have way too much free time. The glitch FAQ updates have been less and less frequent past 2014, but I did write a small new update featuring the findings from recent years. A work like this is never fully done, but now the FAQ should be mostly up to date at least. Finishing the second history video was kind of a frantic process, so I forgot to talk about how God of War was run in European Speedrunner Assembly 2015 by EXE, with commentary by Carrie and Sir Sanju. The upload begins from around 4 minutes in the run, showing EXE struggling a bit with the big Hydra skip. Backwards Challenge of Atlas also gave EXE some trouble, and he got stuck trying to breach the floor for about a minute. Otherwise, the mid-game was fairly unsurprising. EXE used all the tricks that were a part of the new routes, according to the standards of 2015. The biggest mistake in the run was failing the Cliffs of Madness cutscene skip. EXE accidentally activated the cutscene, wasting over 2 minutes. And not only that, EXE had activated the cutscene while falling into a chasm, causing Kratos to die instantly afterwards, forcing EXE to go and do the whole sequence again. The late game was definitely a bit rough, with EXE failing the Pandora's box skip and the final blackout glitch as well. The run's final time was 1:33:48, a few minutes over the estimate. The Rixer also ran God of War at European Speedrunner Assembly 2018. He did a good run overall, with solid gameplay and entertaining commentary. His early game was almost flawless. He got all the tricks in AGNC, the first try. The mid-game was generally good, but there were a few fairly big mistakes. For instance, the Rixer used the more risky setup to do the Challenge of Poseidon blackout glitch, but he was too slow with the inputs and accidentally triggered the Cerberus cutscene. He didn't try the glitch again afterwards, and instead jumped out of the fight arena with a fuse jump. The Rixer had learned the faster Challenge of Poseidon swimming glitch setup. This was a trick he hadn't used previously on his record run. The box skip and other most difficult tricks went first try. In Hades, he had a strangely hard time jumping up to the first spike pillar, failing at least 3 times before succeeding. The biggest single mistake in the run was probably dying to Ares. Because he hadn't checkpointed outside the fight, he had to roll dash back to Ares from fairly far away. In the end, he finished the run in around 1:23. Afterwards, the run became one of the most popular uploads from the marathon, amassing over 1 million views on YouTube. A few words about the history of God of War speedrunning. Yes, Summoning Salt was indeed an inspiration. I think especially the history of Castlevania World Records video awoke something in me. At first I tried to provoke other people on Twitter to doing a history video, but that clearly didn't work. I had never done something this complex before, but at that time I was interested in the topic and therefore found the needed motivation to do these videos. The timeline was done in 3D in Blender. I pre-rendered some clips of it with a transparent background to use in the video. The sky background was generated in Blender. The smoke effect was also generated with Blender. That took ages. Finally, the video editing too was done with Blender. All in all, the first video took around a month to research and put together. The second video was a little bit faster since I already had the timeline and the template set up. Perhaps the old timeline will see some more use soon in the upcoming months. I might still tweak it a little bit though, if I don't get too lazy. As for the future of God of War speedruns, there's at least one big skip which is currently impossible, but might become reality one day if new glitches are discovered. This is the Challenge of Poseidon skip. The only reason you go to that challenge is to get Poseidon's trident. And the main thing you need the trident for is to be able to swim to the bottom of the Challenge of Hades pool to turn the underwater switch. So far it seems pulling the switch is necessary to load the Fiery Balls corridor. While it's possible to get to the bottom of the pool by breaching the water surface, Kratos becomes stuck while pulling the switch. If this game had some sort of a prompt breakout technique, you might be able to activate the switch and continue playing afterwards, all without the trident. The next issue then would be getting out from the bottom of the pool, which might be difficult with the limitations of the known high jumps. Alternatively, you'd need to be able to swim out of bounds in Challenge of Hades without the trident. While you can start early swimming glitch at the rings, the game places Kratos back in bounds when you enter Challenge of Hades. You'd basically have to find some way to clip out of this tunnel while swimming, and the hope for that seems pretty slim. There are 2 other places with water in the Challenge of Hades area. If you could enter free dive mode using collision in either of these places, the skip might become a reality. The testing probably hasn't been comprehensive in this regard, so who knows. Just a few days after I uploaded the second history video, Castor improved the world record to 1:13 and later on to 1:12. Go check out the rounds if you're interested. The links are in the video description. Sorry, a longer analysis will be in God of War History video part 3, possibly sometime far in the future. Alright, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.